tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. I'm Sue Chetwin. I am CEO of Consumer New Zealand. As you know, I'm also on the FISADS board. And for my sins today, I think the most important thing apparently I've appeared in the Dominion Post quiz. So, hope you got the answer right. So I'm going to talk about why food labels matter, and obviously, you know, sugar is part of that. The size of our country was actually brought home to me a few years ago when I attended the 75th anniversary of the Royal New Zealand Air Force at Ohakia. And it was a fantastic day. I got dragged kicking and screaming there. I didn't really want to go, but I actually found the aeroplanes and everything really fascinating. But what really struck me was not so much, you know, the jumbos that were in the air, but the size of the people that were actually at the event. And it was the first time it really came home to me how obese New Zealand or New Zealanders had become. And then even more recently, I was with my father, who's 90, and was having a knee operation, in Wairea Hospital, and we were walking along a corridor, and there was a woman with her child in the stroller, and it was 9:30 in the morning, and in his hands he had a McDonald's burger and a soft drink. And I just wondered what hope there was for that child. It really made my stomach turn. So do we need a nanny state telling us what to eat and helping us to make better decisions? My answer to that is hell yes. Because allowing the market and competition to decide has made us one of the fattest countries on the planet. So, you know, when we press the flesh, we really mean it. And we pillory, you know, other countries, Americans for being fat, but, you know, our own problem is probably bigger than Texas. One of your own professors, I don't know whether Cleona is actually here today, but, you know, her study a few years ago into packaged food on supermarket shelves said across Australia and New Zealand sort of found that fewer than half could be regarded as healthy. So what about the information that you know, manufacturers actually provide us on the labels that we see on our food? So, you know, faced with selling a product that's more than 50% sugar, the food marketer doesn't hesitate to accentuate the positive, so you forget sugar and you emphasise the fact that it's low fat. So you have low fat and fat-free claims turning up on products that wouldn't even normally have fat in them, like lollies and marshmallows. So then you look at things like serving information sizes. Again, you know, pretty useless when you look at it on packaging because we let the manufacturers set the rules. So a recent consumer study found that there was no consistency across comparable products, and some serving sizes were ridiculously small. So we looked at a pizza that fitted on a small plate. It was meant to be 8 servings, so that's 50 grams each of a piece of pizza. And health star ratings, I'll talk about them a little bit more. So it would be fair to say that we fully support your actions and, more importantly, government action for our health's sake. And, you know, obviously because of our absolutely terrible health statistics. And I know I'm speaking to the converted here, but it's probably worth going through them. You know, the 2016-17 health survey found 21% of children aged between 2 and 14 years were overweight. Further 12% were obese, and that's up 4% from recently, the last study. And Māori and Pacifica children terribly overrepresented. And I think, you know, the many tricks that the food industry uses to make us buy unhealthy foods, like fat-free claims on lollies, accentuating fruit content or high sugar snacks, and manipulating serving sizes of drinks to make them appear healthy. So that's why we introduced the Bad Taste Food Awards a couple of years ago, and we've had a really good response to that. And it's a great opportunity for us to call out companies who are making claims that make food products appear healthier than they actually are. So the winners of our 2017 award, so you've got Pump there, flavoured water, claims to be low in sugar, but if you drank the full 750ml bottle, you get more than 4 teaspoons of sugar, or a third of the WHO's daily recommended intake of sugar. We've got the cereal offenders there, you've got mueslis. Some manufacturers, I have to say, had lowered their sugar content, but 2 bumped it up. Pam's toasted muesli had increased its sugar content by 44%, so that's up to 30% sugar. And Countdown's toasted muesli had increased sugar by 20%. Lunchbox losers is what we call them, so nice and natural fruit dinos and Mother Earth veggie fruit sticks claim to have no artificial colours or flavours, plus they have fruit or veggies in their product name, as you can see. But the nice and natural dinos are more like a jelly treat, and they are 60% sugar, so that's fruit juice, glucose, syrup and regular sugar. And the Mother Earth sticks, they boast about being real veggies, but that's limited to beetroot puree, and there's only 13% of that, but you can find lots of sugar aliases, glucose syrup, sugar, golden syrup, invert sugar and brown sugar. And then we have the Up and Go drinks. They claim to provide low release energy and 10 essential vitamins and minerals, and bragging that it's low in fat and high in calcium and a source of fibre, and it also has a 4.5 health star rating. But if you drank the whole bottle, you would have consumed 10 teaspoons of sugar. And these are the kids that nominated the actual go. Now, can I actually make that go from here, or do I need to do that from there? Thank you.
High in calcium,
low in fat,
10 essential vitamins and minerals,
slow release energy,
13 teaspoons of sugar.
Food labelling laws don't make it easy. Consumers really have no way of knowing how much added sugar is in a drink, by either looking at the ingredients list or the nib. So this makes it really hard, I think Glenn, you might have pointed this out, to follow the New Zealand eating guidelines, which recommend choosing products with as little sugar as possible. And the results of that, of course, are obvious for all of us to see. Over half of New Zealanders exceed the WHO's recommendations in relation to added sugar intake, with adolescents being the highest. So there is the evidence that we've been talking about. In 2016, Consumer New Zealand and Choice, we undertook some joint research to better understand how consumers are using and understanding the health star ratings and their opinions on added sugar labelling. It was an online survey. The sample sizes were nationally representative. So we were lucky in our survey that Australians could read. 68% of Aussies and 71% of Kiwis wanted total and added sugars on the nib. Only 18% of Aussies and 17% of Kiwis were happy with the status quo, and there was even greater support for added sugars to be explicitly labelled in the ingredients list. 77% of Australians wanted that, and 80% of Kiwis supported this. And there is also, I think you've shown a little bit of that as well, Jen, that there is FSANZ research that shows similarly. Interestingly enough, in FSANZ research, there wasn't a complete understanding of added sugar, and when a label said no added sugar, people thought that that meant there was no sugar, and people certainly had some strange views about honey. So, 61% of packaged food in New Zealand contains at least one sugar ingredient. However, identifying added sugars is really difficult. Manufacturers use more than 40 terms to describe sugars, and our counterparts in Australia did this very good list, choice did this, of the various names that are used for sugar. There's 42 of them. So look, what we want is, consumers want added sugars listed as separate ingredients, and I'm very pleased to hear that at FINS that we'll be looking at this, FISAN should I say, and also that our own government is taking this seriously now. The term added sugars is a generic term followed by a bracketed list, and grouping all added sugars and the combined list appearing near the beginning of the ingredients list. And it was quite interesting, 2 or 3 years ago when it was the FISAN's treaty was actually celebrated. Professor Peter Buckman spoke at that. He spoke very well, and he talked about a diet being more than just nutrients. But one of the other things that he did talk about was the nip and the information that's on it. Now I know there are scientific reasons for the label being as it is, but he did say, he said he defied any ordinary consumer to easily be able to comprehend what is on that label. And I thought he was making a really good point, and I couldn't support more strongly the idea of having teaspoons on packaging, illustrating for ordinary consumers how much sugar might be in a product. So that's probably repeating what I've already said. So we're here as well, and I've been through that. So food labelling, the problem, and I just want to dwell for a small moment on the Health Star rating system, which we support. We do think that there are pretty significant problems with the Health Star rating system though. We don't like the fact that it's voluntary. It makes it almost impossible if you're a consumer to compare all the products in a category because manufacturers can cherry pick. So that they only have the Health Star rating on the products they want to have it on. So we think that the Health Star rating system should be mandatory. It should be on nearly all products. New Zealanders have been pretty slow to take it up, and Australians have been a bit faster, and I know there's a review on it at the moment. We're really encouraging that it should be mandatory, it should be on just about everything. We think, importantly, there needs to be a cap on the ratings so that foods higher in sugar, sodium and saturated fat shouldn't be able to achieve high ratings by upping the content of the positive nutrients. And you'll all know Nutrigrain, it has a 4-star Health Star rating, and it's about half sugar. And I think Milo was so embarrassed it removed the rating it had a 4.5 star rating on its chocolatey drink, and it only could achieve that by adding a low-fat milk. And if you're drinking Milo, you're probably not going to be drinking it with a low-fat milk. And we want the added sugars downgrading. They don't, ratings don't distinguish between added and intrinsic sugars, such as fruit, vegetables, and dairies, and it's the added sugars, as we know, that we need to cut back on. And I guess it's also not the obvious foods where sugar is. And we did an article just a wee while ago on hidden sugar, and 15 of the 22 frozen meals we looked at had more than 2.5 teaspoons of sugar in them, the equivalent of 4 squares of Whittaker's creamy milk chocolate. And 39 of the chicken and fish products we looked at also had added sugars in them. I'm actually going to be a bit faster than I thought I was going to be, so plenty of time for questions. Look, as I said, we very much support showing the number of teaspoons of sugar on labels. We support the work that you are doing. I take a completely different view from the previous speaker. I don't think that we can rely on manufacturers or the industry or competition to actually help consumers in the space. We've got to this, to where we have got to today because we have had a pretty relaxed view. The regulation has been light touch. I think we've got to do a lot more, and I support where you're all coming from. So thank you so much.